Well, happy Monday, everybody. I hope you're doing great. Hope your weekend was awesome. We are going to have a super uber important um, video today on everything that we've got going on. Again, we're linear equations. Today we're going to look at writing and graphing these linear equations. So this might be a video that you'll need to refer back to, maybe a couple times if it's not making sense, or if you just need to watch it again and do some examples, some problems. Okay, so use the video as needed. Pause it when you need to, and if there's something I say that sounds really good and I don't write it down, feel free to go ahead and write that down. But here's the first form of equations that we're going to talk about. It's right here, slope-intercept form. This looks like this right here, y equals mx plus b. We see four letters of the alphabet. X and y are just our normal x and y that we normally think of. There are variables. We can plug in numbers for those. M and b do have special meanings for us. So m we've talked a little bit about the other day. That's slope. B is our y-intercept. All right, so our y-intercept is represented by this letter B. It can be a positive or a negative number, just like slope can. It could even be a fraction, but typically we don't see our y-intercepts too much as fractions. And so if we look at the left-hand side here on 1 through 6, all we want to do is basically, can I write an equation where I know the slope and I know the y-intercept, and I'm going to write it in slope-intercept form. And so it sounds really complicated. It's really nothing more challenging than to just say, hey, y equals, in this case, I want a slope of 2. Okay, so I know m is slope, and we're going to use this form right here. This is our slope-intercept form. So, like I said, y and x are y and x. Then we fill in numbers for m and b, whatever they happen to be. In this case, slope is 2, so this is going to look like, 2x, there we go. My intercept is -1, so I'm just going to leave that as -1. If you'd like to say y equals 2x plus -1, that's fine too. I prefer just writing -1, but it's up to you. Slope of -3/5. Here we go. Y equals -3/5 x plus 4. Right, plus 4. Number 3. Let's do this. There we go, a little bit better. -3 is our slope, 2 is our y-intercept. Okay, so I'm going to say y equals -3x plus 2. Plus 2. Alright, number 4, slope is -1. Y equals -1x plus 7. You could also write this as y equals -x plus 7. Number 5, 1/4 is our slope, and 0 is our intercept. So the best way to write this one is just 1/4 x. Just like that. We don't need to put plus 0 or -0. There's nothing there, so we're just going to leave that as just y equals 1/4 x. Here we've got a slope of -5/2. So y equals -5/2 x and -3. Alright, sweet, there we go. So that's slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. As with everything in math, we have another form that we can graph stuff in, and we see that just right over here, and this is called standard form. Alright, standard form, again, looks a little bit different than slope-intercept form, but standard form says, let's write this out here, ax plus by equals c. Basically, this one has x and y on the same side, right? If you look back over here at slope-intercept, x and y were on opposing sides. Here, x and y are together, and then we have this other thing, c, which is off on the other side. C is just a constant in this case. But anyway, so let's look at what we need to do here. Graphing these equations, guys, isn't that helpful when they're in standard form. If I want to graph an equation by hand, right, not by using our fancy calculators, even if we are using our fancy calculators, we still have to have the equation in slope-intercept form, right? That means it's got to be solved for y. So this is where we spent all that time solving those weird things called literal equations comes into play for us. So like on all of these equations here, 1 through 6, I want to put these into slope-intercept form, which basically means, hey, I need to solve this equation right here, number 1. I need to solve it for y, because if I have y equals, now I know it's going to be in slope-intercept form. So only thing I really need to do to solve this one, I need to move 2x over here. It's a positive 2x, so I know I can subtract 2x, right? Subtract 2x. Again, just basic reminders, guys. You can't combine 3 and 2x. It doesn't really make a difference the order you write them. And you could write 3 minus 2x. That's fine. I think since we're graphing, I think we should just get into the habit of writing the x first. So negative 2x. The 3 is positive, so we're just going to write plus 3. But either of these mean the same thing. So whatever you're more comfortable with, I would say for now, let's do this one. Okay, let's look over here at number 3. Again, solve for y. Here we go. First step is to subtract an x from both sides. So there we go. And now what do we do? Well, now I need to divide by this negative 3. So let's just do that. Everybody gets divided by negative 3. Alright, and this is y equals, now here we've got a negative x, or you can really think of this as negative 1x divided by negative 3. Alright, I'm just going to, maybe I'll put a 1 here so it's less confusing. Maybe now we see our fraction. So 1/3 x, so 1/3 is your slope there. Positive 12 divided by negative 3, just negative 4. There we go. Number 5. I've got nothing over here on the right-hand side. But once I move my 4x over, I will. Again, we're solving for y. I'm going to write a negative 1, my coefficient, in front of this. Make life a little easier on me here. Maybe now it's obvious to see I need to divide by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. All right, y equals negative 4 divided by negative 1. All right, just positive 4. So y equals 4x. Why don't we do this? Why don't you guys pause this? Why don't you guys work on the evens, 2, 4, 6. Try solving those for y. If you're super stumped, that's okay. Watch me do maybe a couple of these, and you try one on your own. But anyway, so give this a pause, and we will work on the evens. Go for it. Welcome back. Hope you're doing great. We're going to solve these in super fast speed here. This is going to be negative 4x minus 30. I'm going to divide everything by 5, so this should be negative 4/5 x plus 6. No, that should be plus negative 6. Haha, I almost made a mistake. There we go. Or you could say minus 6. Sounds great. There you go. Let's take a look at number 4. So there's that one. Number 4. Again, think of this as negative 1y. Right, we subtract x. There we go. Everybody gets divided by negative 1. So y equals a positive x now and plus 8. Super. And number 6. Again, negative 2y. You stay there. We're going to subtract 3x from both sides. And we like fractions when we do these, so don't be afraid just because we're dividing everything here by negative 2. Keep it as a improper fraction, and that's going to be minus 7. Okay, so negative, or 3/2 x minus 7. Cool. Okay, so there's that. Again, just a quick, slope-intercept form, standard form. Standard form's okay. We really like slope-intercept form a whole lot better because it allows me to graph things. All right. So, fast forward in your notes, guys. All right, yeah, I know we got homework number 2 in there. We're just going to, you know what, I'll take pity on you guys. We'll just leave that alone. I'd really like to concentrate here, so if we move on now, we're on 4.3. This is what today is all about. So graphing. Here's our 4 steps to everything graphing right here in my least awesomest curly brackets I've ever written. But here's our 4 steps. Step 1 says put the equation in y equals, right, or slope-intercept form. Got it. All right. Next step, plot the y-intercept. Again, this is on our y-axis, so this is up and down. Then 3 comes into play. This is what we did last week. So now we're going to use slope to create a few more points. And once we get to step 4, we get to play connect the dots. So that's always a fun time. So some of these will already be in slope-intercept form. I think most of the ones on this page are. So nothing to do here other than immediately jump into step number 2, which is plot the y-intercept. So in this case, y-intercept, look at your signs, is positive 3. All right, positive 3 is up here. Now use your slope. What's the slope of this line? Well, it's the number or the coefficient in front of our x, which is negative 1. So I need to have a slope of negative 1. If you don't have a fraction, make a fraction, right? So what I mean by that is this right here, guys. So now here's my slope. So negative 1 over this one, or you can think of this as positive 1. So this is how I move. So I want to move negative 1. Okay, so in other words, I'm going to go down 1, right? That puts me here. Hello. There you go, puts me here. Then I need to move right 1. Okay, so I'll move right 1. I'm over here. I can keep this pattern going. Down 1, over 1. Here's my next spot. Down 1, over 1. Here's my next one. Down, over. There you go. So now I think we've got enough to draw our line. Really, we only need about 2 points to draw our line. But we'll go with as many as we can get. All right, let's fast forward here. Number 4 now. Again, same thing. So find your y-intercept. All right, let's zoom in so my graph looks better. So y-intercept is a positive 1. Voila, there we go. Slope is negative 3/4. You can think of that as negative 3 over positive 4. If you don't like that, you could also think of that as positive 3 over negative 4. Again, there's your moves. Or you can just remember that, hey, if I have a line with negative slope, it's got to, from left to right, it's got to be decreasing. So my line should look like this. And then we're going to go up 3, and we're going to go left to right 4. So it just depends on how you go. But we could go up 3. So here, I'll do this slope move first. I'll go up 1, 2, 3, right? Up 3 puts me here. Then I've got to go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way over here. I don't have a more graph to go up 3 and over 4, so can't do that. But I can do this move right here, which is negative 3 and positive 4. So we're going to go down 1, 2. There's your negative 3. And then we'll go right 4. Again, puts me all the way over here. I don't have any more room on my graph, guys, so can't do anything other than make an awesome straight line like that. Boom. Beat that. Okay, there we go. Again, these will get easier the more and more and more we do. Okay, so don't worry if you're like, what is he doing? Okay. Step 1, is it in y equals? Yes, it is. Slope here is, again, I've got an invisible 1 here. So I've got a slope of 1 over 1. I've got a y-intercept of negative 4. Go find negative 4 on the y-axis. Bam. All the way down here. Slope is 1 or positive 1. So that means we're going to go up 1 and right 1. There you go. Up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. There you go. Pattern keeps going on. Slightly better line that time. There's our graph for that one. Okay. Let's go back up top here. And if you're feeling like you're getting the hang of this, feel free. You can pause at any time, guys. I don't care. Use this video to best suit your needs. 3x minus 4. Already in y equals. Awesome. This one has a slope of 3. That's going to be 3 over 1. And you can think of that as plus 3 over plus 1. You can also think of that as negative 3 over negative 1. Again, those are your moves. My y-intercept is negative 4. Bam, all the way down here. I can't really go down. I'm out of graph, so I'm going to have to use this one for my slope. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3 over 1. There you go. Up 1, 2, 3 over 1. Up 1, 2, 3 over 1. Oh, it's a terrible line. Ugh. There we go, though. Okay, so 3x minus 4. Looks great. Here's what I mean. Fractions are so much easier when we see these for slope and we want to graph them. So this one's 2/3 x minus 1. Again, find your y-intercept. Here you go. This one goes up 2 over 3. If I try to go up 2 and over 3, right, I go up 2 over, I don't have enough room, right? It's probably right about here, right? But that's okay. We can also go down 2, but now we can't go to the right. Remember, now you got to go this way. So we got to go this way, 1, 2, 3, okay? Then we go, down 2 and over, 3. Probably end up over here. Again, these are all linear, terrible line. These are all linear equations, so we get straight lines. So if you get a point that's way, way out of whack and not going to give you a straight line, look back and say, hey, what did we do wrong here? Because we should get straight lines with all of these. So here we go on number 8. Again, find your y-intercept. There it is. All right, we have a slope of negative 1/4. So I'm going to go down 1. I'm going to go right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't go down 1 and right 4. Right? My graph's done. I could go up 1, and then we've got to go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You'll notice our fractions, our graphs with fractions have a shallower slope. All right, than our ones that have whole numbers. Right? If you compare, 7 and 8, 7 was a positive 1, 8's a negative 1/4. Right? Anyway, just patterns that we see. If you guys want to pause, like I said, at any time, finally it looks like 10 and 11 are not solved for y, so we're going to have to do that. So maybe now would be a good time for you guys to tackle 3, 6, 9 by yourself. So if you want to do that, go for it. Come back and I'll graph these at lightning speed. All right, go for it. Welcome back, assuming that you left. If you didn't, you're just probably laughing at me right now, but that's okay because I laugh at myself all the time too. Y-intercept on number 3 is right there. It's 2/5, so we go up 2 over 5. It gives me right there. My graph's done, but I certainly could go down 2 and over 5. That could be one of my better lines there all day. But there's 2/5 x plus 2 on a graph. Nope, that's just a random line. Okay. Number 6, negative 2x plus 4. Find your y-intercept. I think I found it. Again, your slope negative 2 over positive 1, right? Or you can do the opposite. Again, positive 2 over negative 1. Positive 2, negative 1. Yeesh, that's not very good. There you go, negative 1. Okay, so it looks like this. Down 2, right? Right 1, down 2. Right 1, down 2. Right 1, down 2. There you go. I sound like a broken record. Boom, looks something like that. And number 8. Ooh. I don't see any number after here. So what number means nothing? Absolutely, 0 means nothing, guys. So you could think of it just like this. Right? Where is that located on the y-axis? Right there. Right? So if we don't have a y-intercept, it's going to always go right through our origin. We're going to go up 4 and over 1. Uh-oh. There we go. Out of graph, I can go down 4 over 1. Okay? Again, this is y equals 4x. Whew, not a good line there. Straight line, but just not through any dots. Compare that one to some of the fraction ones. That one's really steep. Okay? Let's look at 10 and 11. All right, so 10, again, not solved for y. So step 1, let's solve this for y. Again, we got to move x over. This is really a 1x, so 1x needs to move over here. So 2y equals negative 1x plus 4. Divide by 2. Divide by 2, right? Notice how I write both terms on the right-hand side being divided by 2. Right? That really means the same thing, guys, as this. Okay? So don't be fooled, right? When I write that, it means the same thing as that. So we're dividing both terms by 2. I really don't need to do much with my slope. We'll just leave that as negative 1/2 x. We'll simplify that to say plus 2. Now I can graph. All right, so let's slide this over here. So 2 right there. I think gotta switch over. There you go. So there's 2. Slope's negative 1/2. So down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. Could also go up 1. Now I got to go left 2. Up 1, left 2. Okay. Another one of my great straight lines there. And let's move over here. 3x minus 2y equals negative 6. Again, 3x needs to move to the right-hand side. It's a positive. So we're going to go ahead and subtract it. Nothing, remember, these terms don't combine. So I can't, take 3x minus 6x and combine that into some kind of weird number there. Everybody gets divided by negative 2. Be careful here. I've got everything's negative, so we're going to end up with some positive numbers here. So negative 3 divided by negative 2, positive 3/2 x. Negative 6 divided by negative 2, there's a positive 3. Okay, so there's our equation. I'm not sure what this random dot is over here, but we'll deal with it later. Plus 3, y-intercept right there. 3/2 is our slope. So can't really go up 3. I'm out of my graph. So I'm going to have to go down 3. So we'll go down 1, 2, 3. And it's positive slope, so in this case we're moving left. Okay. Bam. Again, I could go down another 1, 2, 3, left 2. Okay. So there's that. If you guys want to take a brain break and pause this, I know we just did a lot there, and look over everything that we've got right there. I know that's a lot. We're going to move on with 12 through 21. So if you want to graph those, if you're feeling good about graphing those on your own, feel free to do that. If you're not feeling great about them, go ahead and I'll graph some with you. And again, once you feel good, go ahead and pause. So I'll do a couple, then I'll just go through and show you what the graphs really turn out to be. Okay, here we go. Alright, x plus y equals negative 2. Again, first step, solve for y. So when I solve for y, again, I'm just going to subtract x. I get y equals negative x minus 2. That's what I want to graph. Alright, all I did was subtract x from both sides. So negative 2, y-intercept. I have a slope of negative 1. So that means I'm going to go down 1 and right 1. Okay, and we just keep going down 1 and right 1. Alright, and our line looks something like that. Okay, let's 14. Again, I'll do a couple more with you, and then I'll just show you what all of these turn out to be. It'll be a miracle. It'll be super awesome. So 3y, we're going to subtract 4x. Subtract 4x, 12 Yikers, what is going on for x? Need to divide by 3. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. So y is negative 4/3 x plus 4. So let's graph that. Again, here's 4. I'll go down 4 and right 3. Believe it or not, those are the only 2 points I can get on this graph, right? Just because of the limitations of the graph size. There we go. Looks like that. All right, 16. Again, move x to the right-hand side. All right, not going to have to do anything with 3 with 3y just yet. Minus x minus 3. Again, you can think of that as a negative 1x. Divide everything by 3. And let's do that. And we get negative 1/3 x. If I can write an x in here. Okay. So 1/3, negative 1/3 x minus 1. We see that on a graph again. Oops, let's switch colors. There you go, y-intercept. Down 1, right 3. Got a graph here, up 1, left 3. There we go. Awesomely straight line. So here's what we're going to do, right? I'd like to have you guys pause this, right? Try the rest of these, right? Try the ones that you haven't, or maybe you're already graphing these. Again, the more practice, the better you get. When you come back, it's like magic. Everything's going to be filled out, and all these graphs will be here, and it'll be amazing. So anyway, so pause this and have at it. Okay, welcome back. Hope you did a great job graphing these. If you want to pause and you can check your work, I'll zoom in here on these ones right here. Pause it if you need to. And here are those ones. Okay. Next thing we're going to look at, again, if you have questions on these guys, or if you're struggling to graph one, right, while you're watching this, just call me over, right? We'll work on it together. Next one I think is clearly much easier than writing, than graphing them, right? We're going to look at writing linear equations if I have a graph. And here's how we do this. All I really need to figure out is I need to identify what the slope is, and the y-intercept. Alright, if I can do that, then all I need to do is write the equation, of course, in slope-intercept form. That's just y equals mx plus b. And so it looks like this, right? I just need to know what m and b are. So what's my slope? What's my y-intercept? Well, my y-intercept on this one, located right over here. All right, that's the number negative 3. And then what's the slope of this line? So this is just what we did the other day. Slope of this line happens to be 3. Right? We would go up 1, 2, 3 over 1, right? 3 over 1 just equals 3. So I've got a slope of 3, an intercept of 3. We put it all together, and it looks like this, 3x minus 3. Okay, let's take a look here at this one on 3. Let's, again, figure out what your m and your b are, right? Slope, y-intercept is 2. And my slope of this one, again, I've got 2 dots here. I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go to the right. So we're going to have to go up, and then I'm going to have to go right. So it's going to go up 2, right 5, right? That's a slope of 2/5. So y equals 2/5 x plus 2. Again, as always, feel free to pause this if you need to. Y in this case, or not y, let's do m and b. B is 3. Slope, looks like it has to go up and right. Again, positive slope, up 3 over 2. So 3 halves. So put it all together, y equals 3 halves x plus 3. Alright. Again, if you want to try these, feel free. If you don't want to, I'm A-okay with that, because I'm going to roll through these pretty quick. Our video is going on forever. It's because I talk so long. This one has a slope. It looks like negative 1, 2, 3, 2. So negative 3 halves. Y-intercept of a positive 2. Put it all together. Y equals negative 3 halves x plus 2. Awesome. Again, if you want to write m and b over here, you can. Be my guest. B is positive 1. M is negative 3. Put it all together. Negative 3x plus 1. Okay. On 6, again, slope b, y-intercept, negative 2. Slope is going to be negative 2/3. Negative 2/3. Put it all together. Y equals, that is a terrible y. Goodness gracious. Negative 2/3 x minus 2. Alright. That's great. And why don't you give those ones a try there, guys? Yeah, even 13 and 14 there. It looks like we've got a couple different graphs and want to figure out what the equation may or may not be for that. So pause it, give these a shot. Magically, when you come back on, everything will be on here, and we'll go from here. Okay? Okay, welcome back. Here are all of our answers for these ones here. Again, we'll zoom in on those. Sweet. Again, if you have questions on these, you're not sure why something is the way it is, you definitely need to make sure that you ask. And I know it's been a long video, and you guys have been such an attentive and awesome audience that I feel like I need to reward you somehow. So you know what? I'm going to do that by allowing you to do homework number 3 tonight. So homework number 3 is got decent amount of stuff on there, guys. I'd like to tell you only to do the evens or only do the odds, but as I said before in the video, this is all about practice and getting better. So let's I know you've been great so far, so let's give all 18 of these a shot tonight. Again, if you have questions or you're not sure, or something doesn't look right, rewatch this, and hopefully things will be great. With that, have a phenomenal day, and I will see you very soon.